Hi guys, welcome back to the rust room. So in this episode, we're going to drive the van.
And he's out.
So as you can see, we've already had a quick little shifty around, and I have done a slight little drive around the yard in the van. But it wasn't quite running right, so it wasn't properly boosting. I think I've sorted that now, so I'll take it out for a spin later on in the video. So we've moved, obviously the Beetle is now right at the back, and then we've got the Starlet out so Ben can do something to it. And then the van's obviously in the front so we can get it in and out. Now, last time I think we were doing brakes. So I managed to get the flexibles now for it, they're all on, and the brakes are all bled up as well. And they do work. I'll probably give them another bleed just to get any excess air out of it. But yeah, brakes are on, servo seems to be all right. There is a strange, almost like a vacuum leak, which is affected by the brake pedal. So I think there's some sort of vacuum leak or something going on there. The brakes feel fine. And the weird thing is, it only does it when you turn the steering wheel, which doesn't make any sense because it's just obviously manual steering. So I need to investigate that. But they work reasonably well. Obviously they're brand new, so they're going to need bedding in. So picking up from there, obviously it's pretty obvious. I've lowered it back down onto the ground now. Like I said, just took it around the yard a bit. So yeah, it was pretty successful. Didn't seem to misfire or anything. It was just as soon as I got it up to any sort of load or boost, it would just die and then cut out unless you kept the revs up. So you get a tiny little bit of flutter, but you know, we're talking like 1-2 psi, so obviously not properly boosting. So what I have deduced is, I think this here is some sort of, I think it's a vent to the float bowl. So on the old engine, I didn't have this one, so I just converted a standard carb to turbo, whereas this is a proper dedicated turbo carb, and it's basically got this bit here, which is basically taking vacuum or boost and pressurizing the float bowl, whereas before I did it through the vent. So I just assumed this vent would just go out to atmosphere. So I think what's happening is it's either pulling in air or chucking out fuel or something, and it's not getting enough fuel and just dying as soon as it gets some boost. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But before we take it out for a spin, well, I say take it out for a spin, go around the yard, you know, maybe down the lane, nothing crazy. So also, obviously you can see the trim is off, all the trim, bumpers and trim and stuff. What I've done is I've actually painted those all up. I don't know if you've ever owned a car from like the 80s or even 90s, the black like plasticky trim always just fades to grey. So what I've done is actually painted it, so therefore it shouldn't fade because obviously it's paint rather than just the plastic that gets tapped by the UV. You can get whatever back to black. I've tried everything. It never works forever. Do you know what I mean? Obviously they work for a while, but you still got to go over it. So painted it, should last forever. And I actually did a bit of, so the satin black, so it looks satin black when you're just looking at it. However, when the sun goes on it, I put basically a slight pearl coat on the top of it. So when you get like, it only being direct sunlight, you get like a little bit of sparkle coming through. Thought it'd be a bit fun. So I'm just going to chuck some of those trim bits on. Also, I've got my other set of wheels, which I can show you. So I've got the new tyres for them, and I can put them on at the same time because I've got to jack it up to put the arch trims on. So I'm going to do all of that first, get it looking nice. Probably won't put the splitter on because I'll need to raise the height for MOT because it struggles on the brake rollers as I've got the sump guard obviously on, and that sits quite low. And obviously when you're on a brake test, you got a wheel either side, and normally there's like a higher bit in the middle. So I'm going to jack it up, only, you know, 10 mil or something, because it's on the height adjustable coilover, so you just measure it, wind it up, simples. So I won't put the splitter on, but I'll put the bumper on, headlight trims, and obviously the arch trims as well. So, and the new wheels. So we'll do that first and get it looking nice, and then take it out for a spin. So I mentioned new wheels. Well, they're not actually brand new, I've had them for a while, but different type of wheels. So obviously I had these set on the van already. They originally I just bought them for winter, but they've stayed on for about 5 years. But these are the actual wheels I'm going to use now. So nice shiny boys, I love me a shiny dish. So I've had them for God knows how long, but I polished them all up when I got them. And I also painted them gold, because I figured the white and gold is a nice sort of like complements each other. So yeah, got some fresh cangs on the go, top quality rubber. There's not actually that many options in this size. So it's quite obviously it's 16s, but like quite low profile, so there's not really much option. But I've always run the Nankangs over however many years I've had the vans, and they've been fine. So yeah, got a fresh set of them. And I'll put this arch on this side now, so I can put a wheel on and then go around and do more.
Yeah, mate.
You go up and down that sort of late one then.
Yeah.
Decent first rip in the van. Obviously just down the lane, around the yard, nothing crazy. But it seemed to drive really well. Obviously it got up some decent boost there as well. Sounds fucking sick. I'm really happy with how it sounds, you know. Still sounds, the actual tone of the exhaust and everything is quite similar to how it used to be, which I liked anyway. And obviously you got the mad dose, which everyone loves. So yeah, really happy with that. It seems to run quite well. I know I haven't got the bonnet on, but the temperatures seem to be all right. I used one of those temperature probes, and everything was sort of like high 80s with it just ticking over in here. I know it's going to change slightly with the bonnet on, but it shouldn't be too bad. Next up is just going through a list of MOT things, you know, little bits and pieces here and there. And like I said, I wanted to re-bleed the brakes as well at some point, because they feel a bit spongy, but they do stop it well. They just felt a bit sort of, you know, not quite where they should be, you know. But yeah, other than that, it's be MOT ready. Let's go.
Locked in, mate.
Very lovely. Very lovely.